Oh man.
Oh, hey guys, I'm Dalek44. I have no introduction, but I got one anyway. In case you're wondering why I'm dancing, me and my friends here are celebrating me getting over 2,000 subscribers. Thanks for 2,000 subscribers, guys. It just took me a while to thank you lot and do this party because I don't check my channel updates very often. I'm a very lazy man. Another thing that has me in a party mood is the LEGO Movie 2, the second part. In 2014, the LEGO Movie was released in cinemas. A film that was so good that it surprised people and got them upset when it wasn't nominated for Best Animated Film. Then in 2017, the LEGO Batman movie, the first spin-off to the film, came out, and was another hit in the box office. Then in the same year, the LEGO Ninjago movie came out, and it wasn't exactly the major hit that the LEGO movie and the LEGO Batman movie was, but it still brought in the money. Then in February 2019, the LEGO Movie 2, the second part, was released in cinemas, the sequel to the first LEGO movie. And with the LEGO Movie franchise being as big a franchise as possibly the Marvel Cinematic Universe, how does the sequel hold up? Let's find out, folks. 5 years have passed since the events of Taco Tuesday after the Duplo invasion. Yeah, that's kind of a spoiler from the first movie. And the now teenaged Finn has rebuilt Bricksburg into the post-apocalyptic wasteland known as Apocalypseburg, which is explained in the LEGO universe as a result of the repeated Duplo invasions. While this new life has hardened most of the citizens, Emmett remains upbeat, building a dream home for himself and Lucy, aka Wildstar, who fears the home will invite another attack, and tells Emmett that he needs to adapt to their harsh new world. Not long after this, a mini-doll named General Sweet Mayhem arrives looking for Apocalypseburg's leader, and captures Batman, Lucy, Benny, Metalbeard, and Unikitty, and flown to the Sistar system. There, Queen Whatever Wanabe tempts the group into supporting her. Although Batman is initially tricked into agreeing to marry Wanabe, the two eventually fall in love. Meanwhile, Emmett tries to convince the Master Builders that they need to rescue the captured characters, but they refuse to help him. He converts his house into a spaceship and travels through the stairgate, out of the basement, where he is saved from an asteroid field by a rugged adventurer named Rex Dangervest. Emmett begins to toughen up by mimicking Rex, hoping to impress Lucy. Lucy and her friends are taken to a spa, but believing that the others are being brainwashed by music, Lucy escapes to find Emmett. Meanwhile, Rex and Emmett arrive in the Sistar system, encountering and evading its inhabitants before finding Lucy. Concluding that the wedding is a front for Armageddon, a catastrophic event Emmett dreamed about, Emmett devises a plan to save their friends and destroy the temple. But after battling Sweet Mayhem, Lucy discovers that the Sistar system is as evil as they think, and that Rex might be the real bad guy here. And she has to save Emmett from Rex before it's too late. So is the LEGO Movie 2 as good as the first LEGO Movie as well as the spin-offs? Yes. Yes, it is. When the LEGO Movie 2 was first announced, everyone didn't know what to expect from it. Was it going to be as good as the first movie, or would it not be able to hold up a candle to the first movie? But in my opinion, it's just as good as the first movie because of its keeping up the tradition of the LEGO Movie franchise, as well as the references to the previous movie, as well as the LEGO Batman movie. The movie does a great job of taking everything that made the original LEGO movie so good and expanding upon the universe. Along with the characters we all know and love, we also get a host of new characters. With the original cast, there's Emmett Bukowski, played by Chris Pratt, an everyman construction worker and experienced master builder from Bricksburg. He's pretty much the same old Mehmet that we knew him from the first movie. Happy-go-lucky everyman who tries to fit in but doesn't seem to fit in very well with his environment. But as the movie goes on, when he meets Rhett's Dangervest, he eventually learns to toughen up his heart and be a bit more serious with things. You could say that Emmett represents what's left of Finn's childhood memories, being the naive, innocent character that he was in the original film. There's Lucy, aka Wildstar, played by Elizabeth Banks, a fellow master builder and Emmett's unofficial girlfriend. Lucy's still the same old Lucy/Wildstar from the first film, but in this movie we'd learn a bit more of her sensitive side, like what she was like before she became the Wildstar we knew her as in the movies. I won't give away too much for the two of you who haven't seen this movie, but the reveals about Lucy, aka Wildstar, is just so unexpected for me the first time I watched it. It's just some good character development for her. There's Batman, voiced by Will Arnett, a DC Comics superhero who is also a master builder. He's just as hilarious as he was in the first film and the Lego Batman movie. While Batman is still the egotistical Batman we love this version of the character for, the movie has him diving into something that he's never had to deal with in any of his previous incarnations. Marriage. That's both ridiculous and super hilarious at the same time.
Batman is a permanent bachelor. Can you imagine if having a family with someone I love healed some of my darkest trauma?
The other original characters include Benny, the 1980-something space guy voiced by Charlie Day, Metalbeard, a master beard who is a large bionic pirate, voiced by Nick Overman, Alfred Pennyworth, Batman's butler played by Ray Fiennes, returns, and we also get moments with Harley Quinn and the Justice League. Even President Business, voiced by Will Arnett, returns in the movie, but only for brief cameo scenes where he tries to stop the invasion of the Duplos and then just goes away to play golf while doing nothing to help.
A phony! A big fat phony!
And of course we get my favourite character, Unikitty, voiced by Alan Bray. In the sequel, instead of turning red when angry, she's red altogether. Over the years since the first film, she has developed the ability to become a giant version of herself called Ultra Catty when a battle is about to occur. As many of you know, Unikitty is one of my favourite LEGO movie characters, and her getting a bigger part in another movie was something that I've wanted to see ever since the first movie. And the sequel does just that. In fact, there's a couple of moments in the movie where she's trying to get back in the movie from time to time, which is something I've nicknamed Unikitty trying to get more appearances in the movie scenes. Similar to Looney Tunes Back in Action, where every scene has live action actors and the characters from the Looney Tunes tend to try and get back into the camera as much as possible, Unikitty sort of does that throughout this movie. Like in the intermission scene.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
That still cracks me up. Even when the movie's ending, she pokes her head in as an anime character would just so she could get one final moment in the movie. It's almost as if she's aware that this is a movie and she's trying to get back on camera every moment she can. This is just one of the reasons I love the character so much. And among the new characters, we have Rhett's Dangervest, also voiced by Chris Pratt, a self-declared galaxy-defending archaeologist, cowboy and raptor trainer. The character is basically a spoof of the action roles played by Pratt, including Star-Lord from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Owen Grady from Jurassic World, and Joshua Faraday from the 2016 remake of The Magnificent Seven. There's also a reference to rumours of Pratt playing Indiana Jones. Sure, at first Rhett's Dangervest seems like a parody of the various tough guy acts that Chris Pratt has played over the years, but similar to how Emmett represents Finn's childhood memories, Rhett seems to represent the adultness in Finn, the tough, gritty action hero type of Finn that you see a lot. And beware, because there's a major spoiler for the two of you who haven't seen this movie. By the end of the film, he is revealed to be Emmett's future self, having assembled a time machine from Lego sets based on Back to the Future, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, H.G. Wells' Time Machine, Doctor Who, The Terminator, and Hot Tub Time Machine. This was a movie twist that I never saw coming the first time I watched the movie. And in a way it does sort of make sense since both characters are voiced by Chris Pratt, but they just did a great job at keeping it a secret until the end that you never saw it coming. And that kind of thing just makes a great twist in the movie, as well as adding in a time travel subplot. Looking back at this film, I kind of see Rex as the Flash heart of the movie. You know, someone who's full of himself, loves himself, and is sure to let everybody else know how great he is. You know, if Flashheart was child-friendly, that is.
Well, that's how I like my girls. Direct and to my point. Whoa! Tally ho then, back to the bar.
There's General Sweet Mayhem, voiced by Stephanie Beatrice, an intergalactic mini-doll who is general and law enforcer of the Sistar System army and works under the orders of Queen Whatever Wanabe. The first time I saw a glimpse of this character was in a poster for the LEGO Movie 2 where we see her helmet and the main characters reflecting off her shield. And before we knew what she looked like under the mask, Sweet Mayhem just looked quite awesome. Ever since the first teaser poster of this movie came out, I've always seen Sweet Mayhem as the sort of Boba Fett of the movie. Someone who wears an awesome armour and mask that hides her face, but looks really awesome despite looking like a doll minifigure. And it was also very interesting introducing her as a mini doll figure, making her different from all the other characters, as well as fitting into her own environment in the Sistar system. And the final new character is Queen Whatever Wanabe, voiced by Tiffany Haddish, a shape-shifting alien queen from the Sistar system. Animation-wise, Whatever Wanabe is the most interesting looking character. And I think the animators must have been having a hell of a lot of fun coming up with these various designs for the character, while sticking to the limitations of the bricks used. I mean, it's just so clever how they managed to use various LEGO bricks to create her different forms while staying true to their limitations. It's just really clever how they managed to pull it off with this character.
I'm Queen Whatever Wanabe. I could change my form to something else that just makes you uncomfortable. Hey guys.
No, go back. The horse was much more palatable.
Like the previous films, the animation was done in a way which makes it look like a stop-motion movie, with the limitations of the LEGO minifigures and the mini-doll figures. I mean, literally, when you see the mini-dolls like Sweet Mayhem moving, they just hop around on the screen since they can't move their legs. That's just a great way to keep in true with their limitations. Like the previous movies, most of the effects you see are made out of LEGO bricks, and they all stick to the limitations of the bricks and pieces of minifig, while exaggerating some moves, but still sticking to their limitations. And quite like in the previous movies, where most elements were made out of LEGO and some elements were made out of real-life elements, like the relics from the first movie, water and smoke from the LEGO Batman movie, and pretty much 50% of everything in the LEGO Ninjago movie. But here the only things that are made out of real-life objects is really the stuff that comes from the Sistar system, like the stickers from Sweet Mayhem's sticker gun, as well as some sparkly things like water that comes from the Sistar system, which really keeps in true with Finn's little sister Bianca, especially when you see her bedroom near the end of the film. A lot of the sparkly waters and things just represents things in her bedroom like curtains and whatnot. And once again they managed to pull off the animation to make it look like it's a stop-motion movie. And I love how the film was written that it took place 5 years after the events of the first film, keeping in with the ages of Finn and Bianca. Since Finn was a kid back in the first film and now he's a little bit of an older kid in this film. When the movie was first announced, it was said that it was going to be a space travel movie. Then it was later revealed to be a space travel musical film, which took everyone by surprise since the first film wasn't a musical at all. But this film managed to pull it off really well with their musical numbers. Of course, this isn't exactly a huge musical movie like most Disney films and Broadway musicals you see, but they do take advantage of every song they do make in the movie and have a lot of fun with them. So we get some really good showstoppers like the Tween Dream remix of Everything Is Awesome. The very short but to the point 5:15. The Welcome to the Sistar System chant. Not Evil with Queen Whatever Wanabe singing about how not evil she is. But the way they play it off just makes it seem misleading, thinking that she's lying about everything. Catchy song, which is a new earworm, which tops Everything Is Awesome in my opinion. Like Everything Is Awesome for the original movie, Catchy Song is one of those catchy as hell songs that you won't be forgetting anytime soon. I mean seriously, the first time I heard it, I couldn't stop myself singing along to it every time I heard it. It's that catchy. Gotham City Guys, which shows whatever Watanabe trying to play at Batman's ego, as well as fitting in a few Batman references here and there. I honestly never expected to see so many Batman references come from this 2-minute song. Mostly with live action actors that's played him, from Adam West to Ben Affleck. But it's still some great references and sort of carries on the continuity from the Lego Batman movie, where they make references to the previous incarnations of the Caped Crusader. Everything's Not Awesome, a sequel to Everything Is Awesome, played out as a sad song and then turns into a happy song at the end.
Everything's not awesome. Everything's not cool. I am so depressed.
And Super Cool, which plays at the end of the credits, which pretty much demolishes the fourth wall. Literally. Yeah, I'm not joking, just listen to the song and you'll hear them demolishing the fourth wall. And speaking of breaking the fourth wall, I find it absolutely hilarious in the moments when Wildstar, aka Lucy, and Batman guess whenever a musical moment's going to appear.
Oh no, are we in a musical? I hate musicals.
Oh great, more singing right on time.
It's like they've read the script for the movie or something, and that when the music starts, they know that someone's going to start singing about something. That's just great writing on the team's behalf. Like the previous film, this movie has so many references and appearances from other LEGO characters, such as Harley Quinn, Abraham Lincoln coming back from the previous film, Velma from Scooby-Doo, and we even get cameos from the Wizard of Oz characters. That's something that you wouldn't have expected in this movie unless you bought the LEGO Movie 2 minifigure series, because the first time we saw these characters in LEGO form was in LEGO Dimensions. And then we got to see the Wicked Witch of the West and the Flying Monkeys in the LEGO Batman movie as part of Joker's army, so it would make sense that they would bring in the main characters for the sequel. That's just some great continuity to the previous films. And speaking of continuity, they actually do a great job of tying in the LEGO Batman movie with this universe, by having scenes where the characters would often point out that the LEGO Batman movie was Batman's standalone adventure. And it also explains why the Justice League didn't show up in the final battle of the LEGO Batman movie. It was because they went off to the Sistar system to try and stop the aliens from invading again. It's just some great moments like that that ties up the loose ends from the LEGO Batman movie. They even put in some really good nods to the Unikitty TV series on Cartoon Network, by having Unikitty slide into a sparkle pool from her castle with Puppycorn watching. And there's even a little bit in the real world where Bianca's room has a Unikitty plush toy from the TV series, showing that the TV series does exist in this universe. And some fans have theorised that the TV series probably takes place after the events of the second movie. Now, nothing's been confirmed for this theory, but it is a very interesting theory, especially when you consider that LEGO Batman actually appeared in one of the Unikitty episodes as LEGO Batman, in stop motion. There are even these random moments from Bruce Willis playing a LEGO version of himself. That's the kind of thing that you wouldn't expect in a kids film to have a reference to Die Hard. We also have Richard Ayoade, I'm not sure if I said that correctly, as a talking ice cream cone who is a citizen of the Sistar system and Queen Whatever Watanabe's right-hand character. Now, for those of you who recognise his voice somehow, it's because he played Moss in the IT Crowd TV series. And he just has one of the most recognisable voices in the world, that you just know that it's him. And he plays off this seemingly not so cheerful ice cream cone really well. And it's quite funny considering that in the Unikitty Sweet Friends sets you see the ice cream cone with a smiling face, when throughout the movie he mostly frowns and has a miserable looking face. That's really funny when you buy the set. The LEGO Movie 2 is definitely a great follow-up to the first LEGO movie in my book. It's got great animation, great acting, great humour, great songs, and it's just an all-around great movie as well as a great sequel. It ties up the loose ends for the LEGO Batman movie and fills in the cliffhanger from the first LEGO movie, as well as filling in some of its awesome moments on its own. The LEGO Movie 2 is a great addition to the LEGO Movie franchise, as well as a great sequel to the first movie. And if you haven't seen this movie yet, I'd highly recommend checking it out for yourself. You'll have a great time with the LEGO animation, LEGO comedy, and the great characters that are involved. So definitely go check it out if you haven't seen it already. It's worth it. I'm Dalek44, and thanks for over 2,000 subscribers, folks. Now let's get back to that party. This song is stuck in my head, folks, and my head loves it.